Hello and welcome to episode 19, a short episode about how you can add a Twitter button to your phaser games and how you can share the score directly on Twitter. The first thing that I've done is I've downloaded the Twitter button and put it into the images assets folder. You can use any button that you like, as long as it has the same width and height as my button, which is 286 pixels wide and 48 pixels high. And because this is a brand new image, we need to go into our preload scene file and make sure that we load this new image into our game first. Our Twitter button is a simple image and not a sprite sheet, which is why we don't need to define any frames on this image. So we can simply use the phaser 3 loader to load this image into our game by calling this.load.image, and we pass it two arguments, first the string key and second the file name. Now that the image is ready, we can open the game over scene file and add it to the game over screen. We scroll to the create all buttons method and we create a new subsection for the Twitter score sharing button. The button itself is a basic phaser 3 image that uses the button Twitter key. By calling the image's setInteractive method, we activate the inputs on this image, and as you know by now, we listen to the pointer up event to register a click. And for the button's label, we use the text prefab and we simply write share my score on top of the button. And remember from the last episode, our game over scene only sends events to the play scene, which is why the click share score button will only emit the click share score event. And now we jump into our play scene file to deal with this event. First of all, in the show game over method, we have to listen to the click share score event and then call the handle share score callback method. If you don't understand how phaser 3 scenes can communicate with each other through such event emitters, I suggest you watch the last episode where we go over this in much greater detail. So to share the score directly on Twitter, we just need to call this particular link and give it two arguments, the text and some hashtags. In the text variable, you can write any text that you want, of course, and if you want to improve the hashtags, I suggest the website Hashtagify. I'll put the link in the description below. Once you're happy with your Twitter link, all you need to do is open the link, and for this purpose I've created a helper method. I like to use this type of helper methods because I can transfer my helper prefab from one game to the other, and it always grows with new useful methods. So just go into the prefabs folder, open the helper.js file and scroll to the bottom of the file. The open URL method uses basic JavaScript. We pass it the URL string and then we call window.open with the URL to open that URL, and if you pass it the _blank argument, it will open it in a separate tab or browser window. Opening the Twitter share page in a separate tab is important so the players don't get kicked out of your game. We can refresh the browser window and test our new game over screen and see what happens when we click the Twitter button. As you can see, it opens the Twitter share page for us, and it has the text that we've defined, and it also has the hashtags that we've defined, and the player can only click tweet to confirm the tweet and share the score directly on Twitter. And now you can see that because we have opened the tweet page in a separate browser tab, we can always return back to our game and continue playing where we've left off. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Personally, I think such social media sharing buttons are a really cool feature for mobile games, and I highly suggest you add them to your games as well. In the next episode, we will start working on the monsters, so the levels are becoming a bit more dangerous for the player. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day,